All hits all the time. Star 98.3. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're going to jump in here because we got the governor on the line, and we don't want to miss a minute. Hi, good morning, Star. You're on with T-Bone and Heather.
Hey, T-Bone. Heather, how are you this morning?
Hi.
Governor Larry Hogan, how are you, sir?
Governor, how are you?
I'm doing great. How is it, like, nice and balmy down there in Southern Maryland?
You know what? It's almost too warm.
It is.
Well, I got good news for you. It's going to be like, 50, almost 60 degrees over the next week. So,
I know. We're looking forward to that. So you have just been as busy can be. You did the State of the State on Wednesday. All kinds of great stuff going on. But what everybody's...
It's been crazy. I thought it was going to slow down a little bit.
No.
Oh, God,
after that
no.
election, and we had the inauguration, the start of the legislative session, the submission of our budget. We had the State of the State, and it's been a little hectic.
And one of the biggest things that people are talking about is this $500 million in tax breaks.
Right.
What do you think... What's realistic? It's about $500 million. What do you think the legislature is actually going to approve?
Well, we're hopeful that we can get a lot of it done, if not all of it. But, it's not easy because many of the folks, we're very outnumbered in the legislature. It's,
Yes.
2/3 of both houses are made up of Democrats, and in many cases very progressive or liberal Democrats who don't share the same philosophy about trying to put money back into the pockets of taxpayers. But but I think we didn't come up with a slashing huge amounts of taxes where they would make the argument that we're bankrupting the state and we don't have money to pay for services. I mean, we put a budget together that has big increases in K through 12 education, fully funds every single one of the state's priorities, puts away $1.3 billion into savings for our future needs in case we have a downturn in the economy, and then give some money back to in a targeted way to people that really need it, retirees and small business owners and hardworking Marylanders.
Hey, Governor, here's an idea for you. So we're saving $1.3 billion. If we do that for, say, 4 years, we can lend Trump the money to build the wall and charge him interest.
Well, but that'll be too late by then.
Yeah, probably so.
Hey, let me ask you this, too. We had a caller, and I know that you've been down here and you've been talking about the Harry Nice Bridge.
Yes.
When is construction when are they going to put a shovel in the ground and flip some dirt over?
Well, so that's a great question. We've been expediting it. All of the engineering is done, and I believe they're actually out there starting to. I don't know about shovels in the ground and seeing this stuff coming up out of the ground with steel structures, but they are, I think, beginning to do some of the work under the water to prepare some of the foundation work. So It's fully funded. It's a very expensive project, but we've committed the money, and it's in the budget and in the CIP, and continuing to be funded going forward. And all of the preliminary engineering work is already done. So it's a major commitment. Unfortunately, we're paying for it ourselves. Virginia did not contribute because their argument is that we own the entire Potomac River, and their border starts at the other side. But they were nice enough to do some acceleration, deceleration lanes on the other side. But
all right.
But we're moving forward on the bridge, and I don't remember off the top of my head what the opening date is, but I know that they're expediting it, and we're trying to get it open. It is going to take a couple of years because it's a major construction project.
Sure.
So I read an article this week, and I'm going to ask you about the article. I probably didn't read it correctly because there wasn't a lot of pictures. So here's the article I read, and you could tell me if this is on point or if it's not. There was some reference in the article to a plan to cap prescription drug prices in the state of Maryland for state employees. And what struck me is, first of all, is that accurate? And secondly, why is it only state employees?
Yeah, no, it's not accurate, but so there you go, trying to read again, T-Bone. I mean,
had a lot of big
you
words.
might want to stick to the cartoons and the pictures, not get into the deep policy questions.
Sure.
But no, I'm just teasing. So the legislature last year, everybody, I think, is concerned about the high cost of prescription drugs, and it impacts everybody. But we've got to figure out a way to do something about this that is legal and doesn't, just destroy a major industry in Maryland that we have, which is, the biohealth, biotech.
Yeah.
We're one of the leading pharmaceutical manufacturers in the country. And so last year, the legislature passed a bill that I thought was unconstitutional. I said so. I did not veto it because I knew they were going to override the veto, but I allowed it to go into law with my signature, with the protest saying I don't believe that you can do this. The courts overturned it and said it was unconstitutional and agreed with me. And now the Democrats in the legislature are hammering me. The governor wouldn't support our plan to control, drug prices. Well, I was just correct in that it was illegal.
Right.
Why won't you support these illegal plans?
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
What's wrong with you?
So we'd like to work with the legislature and come up with something that makes sense because it's an issue impacting, nearly everyone, but we certainly would not do something just for state employees. Now, there's a different issue in that the legislature inexplicably took action last year to speed up a process and to take away prescription drug benefits from retired state employees that they had been getting and that was part of the commitment made to them. And that's a different issue that they're very upset about that we're working with the legislature to try to resolve.
Hey, talk about home runs. How about this whole gerrymandering thing with the 6th congressional district? Oh, my gosh, you have fought and fought and fought. What about the 5th congressional district?
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, right. It's a little wonky the way it's set up.
No, there's no question about that. Look, the issue we've been fighting since I've been governor for nonpartisan drawing of these district lines. All of our congressional districts, all of our legislative districts, it's really something that, almost everyone in Maryland supports. I mean, something like 90%. Democrats, Republicans, everybody thinks that we should have really honest and fair districts and that the citizens should pick their representatives and not the other way around. But we've been pushing for that. The legislature has refused to even bring it to the floor for a vote.
Shocker.
So we're continuing to push for that. We have that legislation again. Separately, there was a lawsuit specifically about the 6th congressional district, which was found to be unconstitutional. And so the federal courts had a unanimous decision requiring us to draw a new district by next month. And so it breaks the ice. We have an independent commission we appointed who is holding public hearings and about to redraw that district. If we don't reach agreement with the legislature on the new district, the court will draw the district themselves and force it to happen.
Oh, we don't want that.
But, either way, it's better than having an unconstitutional district. But after the 2020 census, regardless of whether the legislature enacts the legislation that I've been pushing that everyone supports, we're hoping that we can get that done this session. But either way, after the 2020 census, I will draw fair districts that are balanced and that make sense, and we will submit that to the legislature. And if they try to continue to gerrymander for partisan purposes, that will be another court battle that we will win.
Okay.
We know you got to go, but there's stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about the stadium for the Redskins. I want to talk about the Solomon's Bridge. There's so many things, but we know that you are on a crunch time. But T, go ahead.
So you know what? I'd love to call you back and talk about all those things.
I would love it.
Please stop by sometime.
Yes,
we'll have
we'd
coffee
love to
and
have
chat.
you.
That sounds great. I love being down there as much as I can.
Well, let me ask you this before you go. So what's the deal? You going to be president or what?
Baltimore Sun says you haven't mentioned anything about it, but everybody's talking about it.
And everybody knows a hard I don't know is a yes.
Well, look, guys, really, I mean, it's very humbling. The people are, ever since the election, look, I'm the most popular or the second most popular governor in America. I won in a very deep blue state in a big blue year. And it's not unusual that they're talking about me more than they did. But I'm a little surprised by all this.
Come on, run for president.
You're not surprised. Come on.
Come on, it'll be fun.
You'll be great.
I am going to be running for president. I am going to be elected president of the National Governors Association in July. So there you go. You heard it here first.
I love it. Hey, would you please, Governor Hogan? We need to do this like monthly because there's so many things so many things about Southern Maryland, so many things we need to talk about.
You're busy.
I would like to do it, and the next time maybe we can try to get down there and do it in person.
Oh, we'd love it.
We would love it.
We would love it.
Okay, guys.
Have a good day, Governor. Thanks for making some time for us.
Absolutely. You guys have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. All I heard was yes, I'm running for
president. That's all I heard.
All I heard was yes, I'm running for president.
All I heard was yes, I'm going to be running for president of the United States. Didn't he say that?
No, he didn't say that.
There's so much stuff to talk about, and he's like giving us 7 minutes.
Well,
we need more time.
I know, but there's a lot of stuff, and he's got to make a lot of rounds, and I get it. It's
I
it's
get
a lot.
it too.
Listen, I'm happy that we got a few minutes with him.